The rate at which some of you worship money is alarming in this country. And it is one of the things that I'm using my platform to actually make people see that as much as money is important, you don't need to worship it. You should mentor money and money not mentoring you. I posted a video 2 days ago about Kata Ife, or a day ago, 24 hours ago, and it was strictly about me teaching the youth, young ones, that, oh, look, you don't have to say certain things, caution yourself when you're speaking publicly, especially when people give you advice. You want to, as much as possible, emphasize on how much you appreciate the advice and just basically emotional intelligence and etiquette. And then I knew Kata was going to respond. You see, the thing is, a lot of you don't know that I know Kata behind the scene. I know him.
He was going to beat me if we go to Rufus at 3 games. That's basketball. Oh. FIFA too, ba.
On the private level. I know Kata Ife, I know Sydney Talker on the private level. Those who have been following me from 2021 know.
Put him out to upbeat here to come and embarrass him in front of everybody. We're going to play. Well, it's a lie.
I know that these guys are guys that I know, and we're very close. So I know them. So I know our character flaws offline. You know, online is not offline. What you are offline is different from what you are online. So I know all about this. And then this is Kata Ife's response.
Prince, you dey answer that fool, whether they call play with. I know that only you go understand what they talk. Play with. If I cast that one, I don't want to just give that one. I don't want to give that idiot clout. That one a fool. All of them go come online because they form better people, but they bad for inside. They advise they advise their helper. They form like say they get very high intelligence and high IQ, but for back like they cry for woman, they beg woman for toto with a useless set of boys. Come online because they form proud.
First of all, Kata Ife, you know me to the point of, that I don't worship money. I don't worship fame. I do not worship money. And God forbid the day I bow down to money or fame. Now, I love a lot of people in the industry, and I have access to a lot of people by God's grace and by His mercies. I have access to popular people that could turn my life around with a wimp of their hand this way. I don't talk about for my pay tire. Say they break my heart, I cry for months. Yes. And I don't get shame. Like it happened. I know some of your secrets. You know that I do, but I'm not going to talk. Not because I can't, but that's not why I'm here. But I want you to also remember something, because I think you have actually forgotten a lot of things. And I'm going to remind you for the sake of people that are watching. I knew you from incubation stage in this Lagos. There was a time, 2021, 2022, when you had no access to where to sleep or where to actually lay your head or people you could actually run your content with. If you remember correctly, you needed to be in a space where Sydney Talker was. You wanted to have access to Sydney. And I was one of the middlemen that facilitated your relationship with him. Sydney was going through a time where he wanted his privacy and did not want any new person in his space, which I respect. Now, I stood for you and I consistently brought you into the house against his will. And in that same period, there were differences between me and some people in the house based on religion and Christianity and the doctrine. And I was the only one, if you remember, I was the only one that stood against the doctrine. I said, look, I cannot trade just because I want fame or riches or growth for the truth that I see in the scriptures. This is not the gospel. I said it clearly. And I was one of those guys that stood my ground and I was ready to be broke. Now, the consequence of me making that choice was I could not facilitate my growth on Instagram, truncated for 3 years, but God stood with me. Never for once did I compromise to facilitate bowing to another person that is not standing for Christ just because I wanted fame. I don't worship fame. I don't. If I see something wrong and I see an opportunity to teach, I do it. The reason is because you have called many people out. Let's not forget that you're the same person that also called out Wizkid to the fact that Wizkid did not give you any form of credit or help you in your growth or whatever. Now, I did not want to make a video about what you said to Wizkid, but just for the sake of this conversation, let's digress a little bit from that. Then we go to Wizkid and we come back and we're done. Quickly, when you said those things about Wizkid, I don't think you understand the way growth works. You don't go from age 1 and jump to 12. When you are growing, you celebrate your birthday anniversary, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6. Every single year is very, very vital to your growth. The same thing applies to your growth in life. You cannot jump from where you were in 2021 and just skyrocket to where you are right now. It's not possible. There are stages you had to go to in life that brought you up to this stage. There were bricks you were laying. You will still go to a way higher level, but you were laying the blocks. One of the blocks you laid was you sang a song. You sang a song, Machala. And the Machala song grew on the basis of the aura of what Wizkid has. It was on the aura of Wizkid because his fans were happy for once. Okay, someone sang a song for Wizkid that made a lot of sense and was sweet. And then they blew the song. And then the grace of God helped you. It took you from a certain level to another level, which is good in itself. But you cannot now come and say, this person has done nothing for me. You see, there's no inheritance that your father or a dad can leave to his child that is better than a good name, goodwill. a name. There were places growing up that if I enter some hospitals in Shagam, they attended to me first before anybody because of what my dad had done. A good name is better than great riches. Now, one of the things that Wizkid gave you without him giving you was his name. You used his name and then he put you from a certain level to another level. That in itself is a gift. He never came for you to say, why are you using my slang or whatever. He never did any of that. He even gave you the stage for you to come and perform. You are my guy. I'm not here to fight you. I'm here to remind you. Now, at that stage, I remember how you were so happy to finally see Wizkid. Now, he may not have done it the way you want him to do it, but that's life. If truly it was love that was pushing your action, why should he reciprocate it at a level that you want? Now, Davido, God bless him, gave you a different kind of platform and a different kind of niche. He blew you to another level. Wonderful from Davido. But Davido is that's why it's called individual, indivisible, two different beings. They can never be the same. They do things as they want. Do you understand? So now, Davido did that for you. It happened. There was no reason for you to have said what you said, but you did. No problem. And I did not want to address it, but I'm addressing it now to tell you that you are saying that I said something that you didn't like, whereas you have said worse to other people. You said times 10 worse to other people on social media, unfiltered. You say it a lot. You do it a lot. And nobody reprimands you. I don't worship money. I've never in my life kowtowed to you to do anything. I don't do it. You are my friend. When Zanku came here to stream, you came here. I have no issues with you. I was only helping people to see that no, you get what they do for this one, no jig, which is a normal thing to do. But let me educate something to you real quick and to people that will be watching this. Skits will not die and cannot die. The only thing that happened is that skits has faded to a point of saturation where you have to have an elevated idea that can unlock the curiosity and humility in people to say, this guy is very funny. There are people like Disney. Disney has crazy engagements. He does skits. Nasboy, Mr. Funny, what's his name? Oka Cross. This Zobo boy, one Zobo that did one skit with Worry Pekin. Skit will not die. It will only fade to a point where the people that can transcend the point of low relevance to a high relevance has to be people that are extremely intelligent with their output in the skit. The reason is because people have gotten bored of the status quo. So they need elevated ideas that have meaning. The jokes that are, they require higher level of intelligence to unlock that curiosity inside me and say, this guy is so fun. Yes. We've seen all the casual skits that it doesn't take too much IQ to act out. That's the problem. So skits did not die. Neither will it die. It will only fade to a certain point. Yes, and then the only people that will survive are people that are extremely intelligent and their delivery is top-notch in that niche because it's no longer in demand. Let me make this clear to you. That statement you make that you want a helper.
They advise their helper.
You see all this slang that people use in Nigeria? Don't bring it to my doorstep. First of all, you are not my helper. If life brings me to a point where I need you for something, I will ask you. If you tell me no problem. I have no shame in that. But to think that I will kowtow with certain responsibilities I have or allegiance towards God to come and tell you that, no, nobody's anybody's helper. Bible says goodness and mercy shall follow you. Goodness and mercy shall follow you. All I need to do is position myself, and that's what I did. I'm growing a little step. You see, there's a saying by Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. No matter what you do, just keep moving. I am moving. Now, the baby steps. I was on 150,000 followers about 3-4 weeks ago. Today I'm on 260 or 257, 258. Thereabout. That's growth. I'm patient. I don't need to rush. We are just entering into the beta stage, gen beta. You understand? The niche I have carved for myself online is a niche that is going to transcend this generation. Because it is a niche that empowers people to know how to think, to connect with their heart, to connect with their purpose. That's proper value. That's value. I'm not saying what you are doing is not good, but don't for once think that because you have passed the test of financial growth, means that you have passed the test of essence and meaning. Don't ever mistake this. They're not the same. I'm not saying this because of you. I can easily call you and just tell you that you did mess up. I'm saying this for the youth behind the scene that worship money. The fact that you passed the test of finance does not mean you have passed the test of essence and meaning. There's a different thing. What do you want to be written on your epitaph? What's epitaph? When you die on your burial ground, what do you want me to write for there? You want them to write, the greatest streamer? No. I like what you're doing with Kolo. You're empowering him. It's good. It's beautiful. He has risen from a place of irrelevance to a place of relevance now. It's beautiful. I like it. But I've never been against you. I only said what I felt was the right way to correct people, and I did so in love. You think that just because you have passed the test of finance, that nobody can talk to you, or nobody can correct you or reprimand you? No. There are so many things I know about you, and you know that I know. But I'm not going to start coming out here to start. No, I'm not here to fight you. But please, Kata, please, for the sake of the generation to come, you know that I don't bow down to money. I don't need to bow down to money. I am patient. What is mine will come. Goodness and mercy is coming for me. But please, caution how you speak online. Let there be boundaries. Have what is called community decorum, societal decorum, because you are a figure and an icon to many youths. Don't let everybody think that everything you say is permissible. It's not true. Not everything you say is permissible. But people will let it slide because it's katana, they talk anyhow. Whatever you say now, right now, always know that in the next 10 years, the internet never forgets. The internet will never forget. When you're looking for essence, meaning, purpose, you've hit rock bottom in life, you need the way to get yourself back on track, connect with your purpose, have some sense of meaning, return back to chivalry, learn one or two. I am an epitome of failure. I failed in the past. I've picked up my pieces and I'm back on track. I'm telling you this is a space you need to be. Be in this space. Education is what I pass here freely, teaching people how life should be. So, please, Kataifi, you don't need to use violence as a response to disagreement. You don't need it. You can talk, communicate, use your words. I wish you all the best, Kata.